Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review for Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 3. Okay? Look, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm always worried about people hearing me. I don't know why. But we're gonna leave that be. This episode was kind of cute. Okay, a lot of dates, a lot of dates. We had two new newbies, so let's just go ahead and get into. Now, look, we know. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Everybody, their mama is live today. Okay, so thank y'all for the live watchers, but also for those of you who will be watching my replay. Okay, I'm gonna stop going live on Sunday because Sundays is too busy. I'm gonna have to start just doing stuff on Fridays and Saturdays a little bit. But we're gonna leave that be. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dot. Okay. Do not forget to like the video, comment in the comment section because this is a conversation. Okay. This is the time to talk about the show. That's the point of being here. Anyway, do not forget to also share the video, relax, relate, release, center yourself and everyone around you, and also inhale and exhale. Okay, you can follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG and Twitter. Okay, while I am here, boom, I'm gonna probably be popping off screen because for some reason my signal been acting crazy today, and sometimes StreamYard is just full of stuff. Okay, but y'all know that we have the people who are still here, which is Clifton, Ace, Laverne, Paul, Joy, Wiley, Precious, Cornelius, Carmen, Demetrius, Tori, LaKiya, and Sabrina. Okay, I still have not been able to get a better picture of Demetrius, Tori, or Wiley. I feel like we have not seen much of them this season, but it's only episode 3, so that's not much. But again, the show was really focusing on Clifton, Ace, Joy. I would also say the Kaya, Paul, Laverne, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, Demetrius, Tori, and Wiley. We don't really see much of those 3 men. So I'm looking like, will they even have connections with people later? Now, we do see all the ladies meet up with Tommy at the wine bar. This is a nice little setup for this season, okay? Nice little space. It's spaced out. It's pretty and bright. I like it, okay? And Tommy tells them, like, look, first of all, I want all of y'all to set up dates with these men, okay? Set up as many dates as you can with as many of the men, okay? And plan the date based on who you are. You know what I'm saying? To see if these men can fit into your life. So if your whole thing is about maybe yoga and puppies and clouds, do that. But see if these men could be in your life for a long time. So make these dates count. Don't just go out and sit a little bit and don't really talk to them and then you don't know what's going on. Do this to where it has a point, okay? But also, 2 new singles will be coming on, okay? The Kia, you'll be going out on a blind date with one of the new men. And also, at the end of the week, y'all have to send a man home. Okay, they gotta go. Okay. Let's see. Hey, welcome again. Yes, I will be live tonight after the halftime show. Okay, we're gonna have like a little after show chit chat about the halftime show. So whatever time the halftime show come on over to Jaylee's Corner, okay, and then we'll be welcome again later on. I have it set right now for 7:30, but I don't know, if it's a little bit earlier, we shall see. Hey, Lily, I hope they bring in some ladies closer to Wiley's age. Some of these ladies seem to think he's too young for them. We're going to get into that a little bit later, okay? So we see the Kia goes out with Newbie, okay? So Newbie is Eric, okay? Eric is a 44-year-old private celebrity chef, okay, who says it's tough dating for him because he's always flying here or there, just traveling here or there to, cook and chef, you know what I'm saying, be a whole chef for famous folk or whatever. So again, he like, I'm cooking all over the world so I can have a whole date planned, but boom, I gotta cancel because, you know what I'm saying, whoever wants me to be there with them to cook a meal or whatever. And so now that he's a little bit older, he wants to scale back, you know what I'm saying, and find someone to live life with because like my parents been married forever, you know what I'm saying, they still in love and doing this and doing that. So I want that for me too. So on their little date, they liked each other. Okay, a whole lot. She liked him and he liked her. He brings up how, he was his father was also, I think, in the military. So he was in Germany when he kind of graduated high school. He got married at 18. Okay, was married for 4 years, then got divorced, so that did not work out. And as Eric was talking, I'm like, I like him. He seems open and honest a little bit, little bit, little bit. He's handsome. I put a hold on the bald man with a beard. They just bringing all the bald men together. Okay, I guess so. If that's what they want to do, let it be, let it be, let it be. Now LaKiya thinks he's attractive. Okay, she likes him or whatever. And they were chitting chatting. Now he brought up how he just moved back from being in Harlem because his uncle had cancer, which is not remission. She then brings up how she's also a cervical cancer survivor. She's been 9 years cancer free. He brings up how he has 2 kids. How did that come up? I forgot how it came up. But he has 2 kids, 21 and 23. Sir, you have adults. Those are not children. Okay, those are not kids. When people say I have kids, no, you have grown people who you birthed a long time ago, or who you spermated to be birthed or whatever. I don't know. But again, now she does not have kids. But she's open to having them. And while he says he's open to having kids as well, they both like, well, we shall see what's gonna happen or whatever. Um, but they both like each other and want to go on a second date. And she was like, you don't have to meet anybody else. It can be just me and you, and that's it. Don't worry about nobody but me and you. I said, I guess so. But again, their date was cute. Okay, a lot of smiling, a lot of flirting. Okay, a whole lot of what's your name, baby? I want to date you. But again, first impressions sometimes can go a really long way and be good. Sometimes first impressions can be faulty. So we shall see what's gonna happen with LaKiya and Eric. Okay, Eric is cute in the salt and pepper way. Yes, he is. Okay. I like Eric. He seems bubbly and confident so far. He did. Okay. Wiley is too young. I don't think he's too young. I don't think he's too young. He's too young in comparison to the people on the show. Yes. But every season they usually put a young tender on the show. This season it just happened to be a male. Every season before this, it usually was a younger woman who was on the show being courted by these older men. And this season, it just happens to be Wiley happens to be the younger man. Okay. So I'm looking like what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. But we then see Clifton. Clifton goes on a date, the blind date with a new female. And her name is AP. Okay. AP is 42. She's a holistic life coach. And she says she mostly sees women, so for her, it's hard to meet men. She's tried this, she's tried that, nothing has worked out. So here she is. Okay. Now her and Clifton on the date. It was cute. He thought she was beautiful. She thought he was handsome. Okay, he was glistening and shining and all. Oh, from when she walked up or whatever. She brings up how she was married for almost 10 years. Her husband passed away 5 years ago. I was like, that is so sad. I was made me cry. She also brings up how she took 3 years kind of just focus on her, but now she's ready to love again. I think it's very, very smart when someone brings up how, you know, I've lost someone. I'm taking the time to, chill out, because that was a big loss for me. And now I'm ready to be with somebody who wants to be with me. She also brings up how, Clifton, what did he say? Because they were at a vegan restaurant. He said, even though he don't like this as a vegan restaurant, he's happy to be there with her because she looks beautiful. Now I'm like, okay, whatever. So because I think she asked, I forgot how it came up about him having kids, but it was in the conversation or whatever. So he has 2 kids who are 7 and 9. No, I'm sorry. She has 2 kids who are 7 and 9. My fault. She has a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. And then he brings up how he also has kids. He has a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. And she's like, well, that's a large gap. He said, well, yeah. We then find out Clifton has been married twice before. He is 2 times divorced. Now, this is my thing. I get someone being divorced once. Okay. But to have somebody on Ready to Love who's been divorced twice, sir, are you sure you're ready? Because you didn't try it twice. Okay, y'all couldn't find nobody who hasn't tried it twice, who maybe has never been married or was married once before. And I'm not discriminating on people who've been married multiple times because, again, people can be married multiple times, and the demise of that marriage may not have nothing to do with them, and it could possibly be ready to love. But I'm like, why not give somebody a shot who hasn't had two shots? Okay, anyway. Clifton does so that he took his time, to get himself together like a year so he could be good for somebody else. I'm like, but you wasn't good for the first two wives? What happened? I would never be on a date with someone who tells me I've been married twice, and I don't say, well, what went wrong the two times? Like, what's going on? Like, her husband passed away. She's a widow. He's a twice divorced person with a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. What happened? Let me know. Now, it could be that she asked that question and they just didn't show it. Okay, they may not have showed that conversation, but I really want to know. Okay. What's the sister's name who was attracted to Paul? I think that's Precious. Eric is handsome. Yes, he is. AP is very nice. She does seem very nice and relatable. I agree. Clifton divorced already and the baby is 3. Is that a red flag? A little bit. Not fully, because again, we don't know. He could be divorced because they just did not. I don't know. It did. That's why I wish they would have said what went on. Like, you got a 3-year-old and a 17, and a 3-year-old don't mean, I'm saying he's not ready right now, but like, if you recently got divorced, sir, what happened? I'm Paige Lee from Baltimore. Hey, from Baltimore. She then tells him, she tells him, you remind me of my brother. He was like, what? She was like, the shape of your face. It reminds me of my brother. That is the weirdest thing to say to someone in the middle of a conversation. It was just funny because they both said how, great the other one looked, and they were attractive people. But I'm like, oh, not the brother. Okay. And I'm like to say his head shape. The shape of your face. It reminds me of my brother. He was like, okay. She like is awkward for her trying to make a connection because she keeps seeing her brother in him. I was like, right, friend zone immediately. He also said that he didn't feel like a love connection, but they could be friends. I was like, I guess if you say so. His younger child being 3 years old makes me wonder how long ago did that. Right, that's my question. When did it end? Because were y'all like, when did the divorce happen? You know what I'm saying? Was it when she was pregnant with the child? So y'all been, separated for a while, or were y'all did she had a baby? Y'all was still married or whatever. So I just wonder, and I'm like, why didn't y'all just elaborate a little bit on that, on what happened? Maybe the baby mama was his wives. If so, we know he ain't just spreading seeds. But again, they need to tell us what's going on because they didn't tell us nothing. We don't know what happened, and that's why I'm looking like I want to know, how did it come that he had 2 kids separate in ages, 14 years apart? What happened? What happened there? And no one told us. Anyway, we then see a whole little group date. Boom, group date, and it was LaKiya. Well, wait, no, Eric, LaKiya, Ace, Joy, Cornelius. Okay, on a little date. They went to like a little painting class where somebody will start painting and then they switch, and so they're all building. Girl, I don't know, it's cute. So Cornelius is painting his cat. Okay, his 14-year-old cat named Pimp who died, and I was like, you on a date painting your dead cat? I mean, not I don't I wouldn't want to paint my dead cat when I know for a fact other folks is gonna be painting this. I mean, why couldn't this be a regular cat? Why had to be your dead cat? Your dead cat named Pimp, and Joy, who was sitting next, she was like, who draws a dead cat and why is the cat named Pimp? I can't take you serious when you want to talk about a dead cat named Pimp and you Pimp's daddy. I was like, honey, I guess so. Anyway, Eric, of course, who's the newbie, who LaKiya likes a lot. Okay, they like each other. He like, I get we had a great first date, but I need to see and meet the other women as well because I can't just put all my eggs in one basket from the beginning. Okay, you never should do that. That's smart. That's very, very smart, bald head man. So he brings up how Ace caught his eye. So him and Ace was though chit and chat a little bit too, but he also wanted to talk to Joy. And him and Joy vibed, okay? And they gonna go out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like the Kaya looking like, okay. Now because the Kaya, the girl, the key, it's the key. I say it's spelled like the Kaya. It's just pronounced the Kia, and I'm gonna mispronounce that, and there's no disrespect, but girl, I say what I see. Okay. The Kia had never met or seen Cornelius. Boom. Okay. So she gonna talk to him to also let Eric know I'm out here on the prowl too, but I'm keep my eye on him. Don't do that, please. Do not have a I'ma stalk him because he mine and he don't do that, please. Don't do that here. So they chat or whatever. They both have not been married before. They both don't have kids. And she brings up how because she's in her late 30s or whatever, that she's open to having kids. If it happens, okay, we shall see. Now she does tell him that, if she has children, she would really want the father to be in the home, you know what I'm saying, with them. She would not want to have, get pregnant by someone and not have a family unit. Okay. So meaning I basically want a husband and a father to my children, and that's what my thing is. Now when he then said how he did not value the institution of marriage or whatever before, but he does want kids, I was like, sir, so would you out here sleep? Would you bang? Were you sleeping with people's wives? Because when a person who isn't married and has not been married say they have never valued the institution of marriage, who marriage would you out here messing up? I want to know. Out here plugging people or whatever. Okay. I like Cornelius. He has a good vibe, but it's like, but is he vibing with the people there? That's the question, okay? But we shall see. But again, that group date, to me, nothing really came of it except we seen Eric vibed with Joy. Also Ace a little bit, but we shall see, okay? We then had another, no, we had, no, Paul and Sabrina. Paul and Sabrina go on a little date. Her thing was, I just want to see like if something's there. So let's just. But I'm like, I think, look, I don't like Paul. Something about Paul don't sit right with me, and it came from him coming for Ace and about her being married. I just have not seen it for him since then. He not a horrible person, but he hasn't redeemed himself in my eyes. Shit, okay. So they talking and chit and chatting, and they bring up how well he brings up how he's always had this entrepreneurial spirit or whatever, how he was a mischievous kid, you know what I'm saying, little jokes or whatever, and how he's been working since he was like 10, when he would like go door to door and like offer little, I'll pick up your groceries, I'll do this for some money or whatever, which is good. So he's always been about that money and working and growing or whatever, okay. And so for her, hearing him talk or whatever, she's like, I wonder if we could work because I'm a very intense person. You're a very intense person. We're both that way. Can that work? Could you ever just be still and just content with the present? But because she think he can't, because of how he talks and what he says and how he's always, what I'm saying, all over the place, sort of, she don't know if that's gonna work with them. Okay. And then he said, I want a partner where, I don't have to always be on go mode all the time. I want someone who can, make me calm down or whatever. And she's like, well, I just don't want a relationship where I feel like it's a business partnership. And I think with Paul, he gives off that vibe with her. And she's like, and I also don't want someone who's consistently pushing me to do more, 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 because that's how they are. And I think her point was very, very valid, because sometimes you get with people who feel like I have to always do more, always, 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 because they want to always do more. They want you to always do more. And they then push you, as in you need to do more than what you're doing. And that gets aggravating. Very, very aggravating or whatever. Paul was too much. He can be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm like, And so he like, well, look, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, or can you see, like I could make you happy? And she was like, I can see it's like a friend, like a mentor, but I don't have a vibe or a spark between us, and I don't want to waste your time. And while I was like, well, damn, he was hurt a little bit, but I do feel like um it was true. Why waste your time? I don't feel that with us. Like I don't dislike you, but I also don't want to bang you, okay? I think AP and PL might be a meta match, but he might be iffy about kids. I don't want AP. I don't want AP with Paul. I don't. While I can see them meshing, I still feel like he too much. He I don't know. I don't want him to ruin AP. Basically, he might ruin her. Okay. Now there was another group date, and this was with wait, because to me, dang right. I want to be sure. So Paul, AP, Demetrius, Joy, and Laverne. I feel like Demetrius, we haven't seen or heard anything from him, and he be around but don't be saying and doing nothing. So that's weird to me. I'm like, why is he here being said nothing? And I like the fact that we haven't even seen a confessional from him. I'm like, is he gonna get sent home quickly? Is he the next man to go home? And he ain't getting no confessional? Like is he on dates? I'm just like, what's going on? But again, they're only focusing on certain people right now. And I'm like, I guess so. So Paul brings up I was mom was a great bowler and taught him the ways to bowl. Oh, okay. And so he wanted to teach the went bowling. So he wants to teach them how to bowl. Oh, okay. Joy like, look, she don't mind Paul's raw, uncut, unfilteredness of himself. She finds it, just fine for her. But I don't think she wants to date Paul. So it's cool if you see him as a friend who's just like that. But I'm like, as a woman who wants to date someone, he's aggravating. Okay, he's aggravating. So Laverne brings up how he needs some encouragement or whatever. He then suggests for Joy to squeeze his butt. I'm like, why does he keep offering people to do things with ass? Laverne, why? For what? For who? I don't know. AP is a professor of biology. I don't know Paul's educational background. Doesn't seem like a good match. We shall see. But again, I'm like, Laverne, you care too much about your ass and how it looks and you want people to touch it. It's okay. Leave your ass alone, okay? Now we do see Joy and Laverne flirting a lot. Now they both bring up how they have not been on the dates, but they want to go out and see how much they vibe. This whole group date didn't make any sense to me because we didn't see anybody talking to Demetrius on camera. I feel like Demetrius and AP might have talked, but it didn't play out. Okay, so I was like, that was boring. What is the point? I'm confused. Okay. Now the next group date, I'm like, everybody doing group dates? Everybody? Okay. We had Sabrina, Troy, AP, Demetrius, Sabrina, and Wiley. Wiley is also someone I feel like we have not seen at all. And also, so these three men, we have not seen or heard from much. Seen or heard from at all. And this was a group date. They went on a like city tour, like on like a city tour on the big double decker bus or whatever. And I was like, that's not a way for y'all to talk to each other. That's a way for y'all to see the city. Sabrina playing this date. I'm like, Sabrina, this is a stupid date. It was dumb because there was no time for y'all to sit and talk to each other. Y'all were like looking at shit. And then Demetrius, this is the way the seats were. You had uh AP, who was sitting next to Wiley, who she felt like he's too young. She wanted to be sitting with Demetrius, but he was all in the back by himself. And then Sabrina and Troy, who were next to each other. But that was weird because Demetrius was in the back, and she like, it was just weird. This whole date was weird. I was confused. And Demetrius also wasn't really talking at all. I'm like, why don't y'all can have a group conversation? He was in the back like, Like, sir, say something. Can't speak some words. And he didn't. But when AP was like, yeah, Wiley's too young. I don't know what's going on. He reminds me of my students because she's 42 and he's 34. And I don't know. It's just weird. It was a weird date. And I was like, Sabrina, you can't plan dates anymore at all. At all. And I'm like, why? It was, girl, I don't know. Anyway, Joy and Clifton have a date. And within their dates, we know how much they have been. This is their first date as well. The fact that she fed him some fish and he realized it was coconut and he thought he was gonna have an allergic reaction was funny to me, but he lived. Okay, he's okay. He's fine. It was like fake coconut. But again, they talking or whatever, how they both lost their fathers, very, very triggering. And brings up how she's like, when I first saw you, I just saw parts of you in me. And he was like, I can see parts of me and you. And I was like, you old pervert. It was funny, a little bit cute, but you little pervert. I feel like their date was a lot of looking at each other, smiling, sexual energy between the two of them. They want to bang, okay? And they both say, I like you. I like you too. I want to see where it goes. Okay, cool. But I also feel like Clifton, who basically the Joy is his number one pick, I also feel like he gonna still date other people. I feel like Joy will too. And if they both do that and then still have each other as their number one, it could work out. But I'm side eyeing Clifton a little bit because I feel like he could be a playboy. And it's something a little bit iffy that I'm looking like, don't you play Joy? You better not play Joy, okay? We then see all the ladies meeting up at the lounge to discuss who they like or they don't like, okay? What is going on? Who do you want to take home? Who do you want to send home, okay? So, Ace says Laverne. And as y'all see, the names are all up here so y'all can see who I'm talking about. Ace is like Laverne's her top connection, okay? We talk all the time on the phone, okay? I love it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Laverne is my top. And it's weird because I don't think you've heard from Laverne who told us he, has been talking to Ace. But again, we just may not know it just yet, but that's what's going on. Joy says, of course, Clifton is who she likes. At a great date, he almost died from the fish, but he's fine. Carmen said that she also likes Clifton, okay, which made Joy give a little side eye. So, oh, really? Okay. So Sabrina brings up how her top two are Demetrius and Troy. And I was like, but we ain't had, heard nothing from neither one of the men. So maybe next week, because the men are in charge, we can maybe see or hear who the men like. Precious brings up Paul. Paul is her person or whatever. They have an amazing connection. He balances her out, and she is looking for someone to complete her, but she does want someone who can build and add to her. I like how she worded that. Even though I do not like Paul, I like how she sees him in her life. But I guess that's fine. LaKiya says Eric because their blind date went so well. Her top two were Clifton and Demetrius, but Eric jumped over them too, which I think that makes like Sabrina and Joy like, oh, okay, because we don't want you with our man, okay? Now who you don't like, who do you not have a connection with? AP says Wiley because he's so young. I'm like, Mama, you knew, but I get it, that's fine. LaKiya says Laverne because she feels like he's messy to her. And she also says Cornelius. When when the kid said Laverne is messy, I wonder what she meant by that. So I hope that's explored later. Carmen says Laverne because he thinks he's positive, but his texts that he had sent me were kind of negative. I'm like, what text? What did it say? Like, what part of it was negative? I just want to know. What negativity are we missing that's coming from the Vern? Okay. Or is the Kia and Carmen just like nitpicking? Tell me some examples of what happened. Okay. What is it? Um, what's up with Vern in his hind parts, honey? I don't know. They definitely are lusting after each other. I agree. Laverne fine, but I have to give him a nickname. Or not call him Laverne. Laverne was saying how much he liked Ace. Oh, he did? Okay, thank you. Ace must have been very open to a physical attraction as well because I like Laverne's flirtatiousness. I do too. Um, Again, who they don't like. Ace says Paul because it gives a homie vibe. What is fine? You don't want a homie around here. Joy says Cornelius and Paul because they are just not a connection for her romantically. Sabrina says Cornelius because there is no spark, but Paul because what he says doesn't match the energy that he gives off to her. And Precious said, "Hold on, let me speak up for my boo, okay? Because y'all tripping. First of all, I feel the opposite about Paul. Okay. But I feel like, what Sabrina's saying, what she's speaking on, he might not match her. However, he's right for me. And I feel like this is a great example of how when last season Camille felt like no one should be able to say her man Cornelius should go home. And if they did, she would F them up. And I'm like, this is a way to fight back for your man and not make it, messy, petty, childish and pitiful, you ask me. Just say, hey, I get the reasons you don't like him. However, guess what, mama? Guess what, ladies? What you don't like about him, that's what I like. So he shouldn't have to go home because of y'all, okay? And so we then see the final two men who are going home possibly, Paul and Cornelius, who are met up with Precious and Joy. Now, Joy meets with Cornelius and say, I just want to be, share some concerns with you for the ladies or whatever. I just want to she said, I want to be careful with him, okay? The same way I would want someone to be with me. I'm not that means he's going home. When she said that's okay, that he's the one leaving today, because she's trying her best to not like hurt his feelings. And I was like, girl, okay. And she tells him how awesome he is or whatever, and how refreshing of an individual that all the women think he is. However, you know what I'm saying? Because all the women felt that. We all feel that you are awesome, great, amazing, and this and that, and great, 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 great. But they also feel, there's no romantic connection with you, okay? And so they feel like you're not ready to love. He was like, oh, okay. Well, the truth is the truth. Okay. He also said, damn, so I was friend zoned by 7 women at the same time. I was like, I think so, sir. I think that's what happened. I'm not surprised he went home. I feel like he's a very relaxed, chill person. And the ladies who are there want men who are more like hype, and he seemed so chill. That could be why he got friend zoned, because he wasn't putting out energy to make romantic connections, and that could be an issue. Now, when Precious talked to Paul, you know what I'm saying, and she's like, I just feel so bad having to have this conversation. I'm like, why, girl? Bye. He ain't going home. So she tells him how the ladies feel like he's very, very guarded. Okay, and that's the issue for them. And then he like, well, I get that. Okay, I can, but when people want to get to know you, they deep dive in and they talk and they ask you questions. They try to get to know you. And if I'm the only one talking and asking things, I'm saying, then that's a you issue, not a me issue. I'm trying to get to know you. You not the one trying to get to know me. And not he wasn't saying that about her, just in general of what's going on. And I'm like, see, Paul, sometimes you be an asshole. He said, as a man, if I give you the raw, truthfulness of whatever, and if I'm just being honest, and if you're intimidated by me being honest, then look at yourself. I'm like, now look at herself. What? And even if he feel like I'm not being fake with y'all, I'm showing y'all who I am, it's still a part of him that's like, just shut up. Like, a part of me feel like Paul in his head feel like he has to consistently defend who he is, and that's why he comes off so raw and unfiltered, because he know people are always judging him based on him coming off a little bit asshole like, and that's some bullshit. Now, even though Precious still likes him for whatever reason or whatever. And she's like, I feel like the other ladies are all wrong. I'm like, everybody can't be wrong now, Precious. Okay, heed some of these one person's advice on keep your eye on Paul. But she tells him how that he's not going home, but he's like, okay, cool, cool, cool. I can say at least he said that all the women can't be wrong. So he does need to operate differently based on, they all can't be wrong about him. So I know I need to do something different. Paul irks me. Okay. Let's see. Precious, and also episode, y'all. Precious shocked the hell out of me. She did, but I felt like she was like, you know what? I'm gonna defend that man. Okay, because he ain't going home. Not on my watch. I want him to be here with me, and that's it. So, but I felt like I didn't think she would speak up, but her saying how you feel about him matches me, meaning how you feel don't matter because y'all don't go together. Y'all ain't meant to be together, but don't squash my dreams. So I was shocked, but also not shocked. I don't think Sabrina will make it till the end. She comes off as too picky. You don't think Sabrina will make it to the end? Let's see who's Sabrina. I gotta remind myself. I think Sabrina may not make it to the end. Well, I can see that. I can see that happening. Possibly, yeah. Let's see. It was funny seeing Paul giving the "you can't fire me because I quit" speech his first watch on, and knew he wasn't going home. And that's what he was doing. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I'm here. I'm being me, okay? And if you don't like me and who I am, then that's on you. It's like, sir, no, it's on you as well. It's on you too. I think Cornbread was sent home because he didn't have a six pack. I don't think that because I don't think Cornelius. I think both Clifton and Cornelius are kind of built the same. Little bit, little bit, little bit. So I think it was more about him just not connecting with people. The fact that Precious wasn't annoyed with Mr. Juggernaut in his speech that I guess she really does like him because child, go to bed, Paul. I agree because I was like, what is you talking about? Get out of my face, sir. But other than that, I can't figure out Precious weave, honey, because it's sideways. Okay, Precious has it. I hate people wigs when they like it look like they just turned it sideways. It really irks me. Okay. I'm like, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. Cornelius didn't want a commitment. He didn't. And that could have been what he meant by saying, I didn't value marriage. Well, do you value relationships? Okay. I don't know how Precious wasn't turned off by how Paul spoke to her at the dinner. It seemed like she liked it. I was surprised. I was like, girl, couldn't be me. Not today, not ever. But anyway, that was the whole episode, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. Do not forget, I will be live today for the halftime after show chit chat. So whatever time the halftime show is done, I will be live on here so we can talk about the performances of Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem. See y'all later today. I'm gonna go lay down because I'm a little bit tired. But other than that, have a great day and talk to y'all at the halftime Super Bowl chit chat. Peace.